This movie review is a request from two of my, I think they're UK viewers. I know one is a UK viewer. He actually commented on, I believe, my Dead Man's Shoes review, which that one has got a lot of heat, but I'll take the heat. But Bobby and Michael, they both asked me to review this movie. And thanks to Dead Man's Shoes and everybody saying like this guy doesn't understand our culture, doesn't understand the movies, doesn't understand British, doesn't understand the UK, we're going to just start throwing him UK movies. And I've gotten a lot of UK requests to do movies right now. And I'm working my way through them, slowly but surely, but I'm getting to them. I have other reviews as well. But this one, Lock, Stock, and the Two Smoking Barrels that I was given to review. I wasn't sure, I wasn't sure. I don't really look into what the movie is before watching the movie, which could be a bad thing and a good thing. Because depending on if somebody's gonna be sitting there with a joke movie, I'm like, okay, that's not cool, guys. But then they sit with a serious movie like this one. This is a serious movie, by the way. Like, oh, all right, I'm into this. So, Lock, Stock, and the Two Smoking Barrels. By the way, when I first heard of it, I thought of Lock, Stock, and Barrel from Nightmare Before Christmas. I am sorry. That's what came to my mind. And then come to find out, no, that's not what this movie's about. It's not about those characters. It's a legit, I don't know, consider a gangster movie? But it's a very, I guess it could be a gangster movie. Yeah, it's a gangster movie. That, you know what, by the end of it, I was enjoying this movie a lot, and I was curious to see how it was going to end. And that's always a good thing. So let's go ahead and get into this review on this episode of Movie Breakdowns. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka, and what is Movie Breakdowns? It's a movie review series where we look at new and old movies, give them a grade, A through up. Plus and minuses do count. And there's a movie you want me to review, let me know. Please put in the comment section below, and I get to it as best I can. Also, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Ali Zakka, and on this Patreon, you can get movie reviews, movie trailers, trailer reactions, what else? First thoughts before they come on YouTube and Facebook. You also get first come, first serve because you're paying for my services. So there's a review you want me to do, you pay for it. I get to it immediately. And then put it on Patreon so that way you can see that review and my thoughts on it. Because when it comes around on YouTube and Facebook, let's just say it's been on Patreon for a solid month and a half. Just give me the heads up. Now, let's go ahead and get into today's review of Lock, Stock, and the Two Smoking Barrels from 1998. This movie was a fun movie to watch. This is my first thoughts on it. It's a fun movie to watch. At first, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. There was a lot of moving pieces, and I was like, okay, so here's the four main characters, and the movie introduce you to them. But then they bring in a character like Big Chris and Little Chris, and then they bring in Harry, and then you have the Baptist, and then you have these characters, and then you have this character, and you got that character, and this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And then you know you're drowning in people, and you're like, I don't know who to keep up with. Who do you keep up? Okay, hold on. There's Soap, and there's Eddie. Oh God. Okay, here we go. But what the movie does, it shows you all these characters and then interloop them back into each other, so they all cross each other's paths to pretty much become one giant picture. And I freaking love that. I loved it. Matter of fact, if I can find him real quick, where is he? Rory Breaker. Rory Breaker. This guy first gets introduced in the background of a scene. He's in the background of a scene, and he's not really a main focal point at all. Like, you see him there. He is there, like in the background chilling. And the main characters kind of like acknowledge him. He acknowledges them, and then just kind of minds his own business. He comes back around towards the middle of the movie as a freaking gang lord, and you're like, what in the world? And because the way they introduced him in the movie, at first, he was just sitting there, he was chilling. I like that. It wasn't some big bad dude like, I'm the gang lord and I'm here to run the stuff. No, he was like, I'm just here. My own business, like a normal person would be doing. Like if you're somebody of importance, you wouldn't be just sitting there just tooting and shooting and shouting like, yeah, look at me, I'm the big stuff, puff chest. No, you'd be like, just sitting here at a bar watching the game. I don't need to post anything. I know where I'm about. Okay, cool. No, I'm watching this. I'm not turning this down. Mind your own business. Like, like I love that. I love how the fact they like introduce these characters and you're just like, no way. Okay. Or the likelihood like your next door neighbor being a gang lord, but also you're a gang, not really a gang member, but more of a con artist. But like your next door neighbor's running a gang and you hear them, so you're like, okay, this is how we're gonna get our money. We're gonna rob them. But at the same time, they're like, no, you're gonna get robbed by us because you're taking our stuff and we're gonna take our stuff and we're taking the stuff from the other people who the main characters took their stuff to try to make a profit off of. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's done so well. Like, and I like at first, because at first the movie, I kind of got lost in it. I was like, there's so much going on. I don't understand. And it does a good job of selling you in around 30 minutes. And this is a spoiler review, guys. I'll tell you that right now. On my subject spoiler review. The movie came out in 1998. You haven't watched it yet, go watch it. But in around 30 minutes mark, it breaks it down where one of the main characters, who is Eddie, he is good at playing cards. And he played cards with one of the biggest gang lord in the area. And that is Harry. So he's playing cards with Harry, and Harry is cheating. And Harry knows that he has the advantage and decides to bet Eddie into a giant lump sum of money where Eddie's like, I can't pay you back with that. Like, I don't have that money. And on top of that, Harry was so messed up about it, he decided to loan the money to Eddie, and so Eddie could lose. So that way he gets more cash in his pocket. That's messed up. That's where the movie kind of settles in right there. Now you know what the main issue of this movie is. So Eddie, with the rest of the gang, Soap, Tom, and Bacon, have to try to get this money, this giant sum of money together in the span of a week. By the way, a week. I believe it was $500,000 within a week. I believe that's what it was. And I'm like, that's messed up. And because they're trying to figure this out within the week, all these other moving pieces, because Harry's still living his life, Barry the Baptist is still living his life, they're getting people to do things, and which it's just kind of like one interlooping story. It is so good. I'm really not going to tell you how it ends because you need to really watch it to see how it ends. And it ends with a cliffhanger, which was kind of a funny cliffhanger. So I'm down with that. It wasn't anything too serious. It was just kind of one of those things that was like, oh, that happened. Oh, look at what the, okay, hold on. Oh, I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't. It's fun. It's a fun movie. I enjoyed it. This cast is huge. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do everybody justice with this cast, just because there's such a big cast. I'm leaving some people out. Okay, so I'm gonna bring over my laptop here because I want to get into the characters and actors who are all great, by the way. This whole cast is great. Jason Fleming, who plays Tom, he is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde from The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I didn't recognize him, but yes, he's in this movie. Dexter Fletcher, who plays Soap, he was good. Nick Moran, who's in Harry Potter, he plays Eddie. Jason Statham. Jason Statham was in this movie. I kept watching this. I kept looking at him like, that looks familiar. I don't think it's Jason, but it looks familiar. And it was. Jason Statham is Bacon. He's in this movie. You have Harry Hatchett, who's played by P.H. Morty. You got Sting, who plays JD, who is Eddie's father. Rory Breaker, who is played by Vaz Blackman. You got Frank Harper, who plays Dog. Lenny McLean, who plays Barry the Baptist. Vinnie Jones, who plays Big Chris. Like, this cast is great. This is a great cast. And if I left anybody out there who should have been put in this review, just let them know he did great as well. This whole cast is great. I applaud them. I didn't have any problems with the characters. Guy Ritchie is the one who wrote this movie, and he directed this movie. And there's a few interesting where I feel like Guy Ritchie really want to get really creative when it came to camera angles. Like he would change the camera in certain ways or slow the camera down in certain ways, or a certain scene that felt like it didn't need to be slowed down, he would slow them down. Certain scenes that, like for example, Vinny, and then like I said, spoiler review, Vinny fights dog at one point, and all you see is just dog, like head is in within a car, and Vinny is just swelling on him. But the angle of the camera is from Vinny, or I guess say Big Chris, who are just swinging down. And I thought it was interesting. So like the camera angles will take you out of the movie sometimes. Like, that's an interesting camera angle. That's unique. Budget, by the way. So this budget, and I don't know what this is in US dollars, but GBP is 960,000. And the movie cumulative gross worldwide was 3 million. And the movie in the year the movie came out opening weekend 1999 in the United States. But by it was all said and done, $3 million this movie brought in, which I think that is definitely a bonus. Like, that's a good thing. I'm not sure what GBP is, guys, so sorry about that. But since I've been doing like how much money the movie has made in box office compared to budget, I feel like it's a good thing. This movie got a lot of praise, and people rave about this movie, and I see why. The music, got a little James Brown in here. You got a little blues and soul and rhythm. I'm down with it. All right, grading time. Well, let me take a step back. Should you watch this movie on a Friday night? Yeah, it's a Friday night movie. Watch with friends and family. It is rated R. Give you a heads up, but it's a 2-hour movie. It's 1 hour and 47 minutes to 2 hours long. It's rated R. Give you a heads up there. So you probably should watch with kids, but you watch with your friends. Also, on top of that, it's not as bloody. Like, there's a bunch of gun shooting and stuff like that, but you really don't see like the gruesomeness of a gunshot going through somebody. There's like one scene where you really see it happening. All the other scenes, they kind of cut away, or they show certain things, which I was perfectly fine with that. I was like, okay. It was a breath of fresh air, especially for a gangster movies when they want to show you, Quentin Tarantino, for example, show you somebody get shot and just bullets fly through and they're flying all over the place. No, this movie would show like somebody getting shot and it would cut away to the next person's reaction. Perfectly fine. Grading time. I'm going to grade this movie, Lock, Stock, and the Two Smoking Barrels, a B-. This movie gets a B- for me. I was completely invested from the middle to the end of this movie. Like, I was all in. Like, the beginning of it was little all over the place. Like I said, like there's so many characters that's interacting, like putting into the movie and just dumping on y'all at once. But then once the movie kind of like started to break down, the story started to form more, and then the characters start interlapping and interlooping with each other to like mix to one well-written story, I was like, yes. And there was no loose ends. Like, everybody got taken care of. Everybody was handled. So B-. This movie get a B- for me. If you've seen Lock, Stock, and the Two Smoking Barrels, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. And I'm curious what your thoughts are. Also, you guys want to know, IMDb give it an 8.2. And I believe Rotten Tomatoes give this movie 75%. So Rotten Tomatoes gave it a C. IMDb gave it a B-. That's where my grade is, at a B-. So yeah, B- it is. Like, I was fully invested from the middle towards the end of the movie, and like, how they gonna wrap this up? And then there's a few jokes here and there, but yeah, I was invested in this movie, so B- it is. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns. See you next time, and keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, you want to see what else I'm doing in my normal life and other things that's going on, please follow me on Instagram at Ali_Zakka. I'll put it right here around my face. Yep, right there. Also, if you want more episodes of Movie Breakdowns or Grind Towards Success or whatever it is I'm doing on YouTube, you know what? Follow my page right here, like I said before, the little comment thing right there, And then you can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns right here, and watch the last episode of Grind Towards Success right there. Other than that, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate y'all. See y'all next time. Keep being awesome.